Hey everybody, welcome to the simulcast on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Wait a few minutes for some more people to get in. I tried to get the countdown timer started a little bit earlier, but I had an issue with one of the photos that were going on YouTube, so I had to wait. I made a little bit of notes for tonight. Somebody yesterday in a TikTok live stream had mentioned that maybe we talk about dealing with civil unrest and maybe even FEMA, so we'll see how that goes. Put your name in the chat if you like. Let me know what state you're from. Just curious who we have in here. I am broadcasting from northern Vermont at the moment. All right, well, we can get started. There is about 21 people in here from across the 3 different platforms. And by the way, hey, Tactical Nomad, how you doing? In case you guys didn't know, today was the big launch day of our new book, Pace Planning, Your Guide to Emergency Preparedness and Bug Out Strategies. It is available on Amazon right now. Montana and Idaho, welcome to the stream. All right, so someone had suggested yesterday, Judy Haynes is from Indiana. That kind of blended into the same sentence. No one suggested Judy was from Indiana. She told us she was from Indiana. But I was just going to say, someone had suggested that maybe we talk about dealing with civil unrest. And we can talk about civil unrest in relation to PACE as well. Because those of you who know me and who've been on the stream before know that I think about PACE planning pretty much all the time. You should always have not just a primary plan, you should have an alternate, contingencies, and emergency plans. Backup to the backup to the backup. Michael is from California, Rabbit Hole. I have arrived, rural Tennessee. Welcome. I did not pre-stream on TikTok this time. I was going to kind of let people know that we were coming on, but if they don't know by now that we're here on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I don't know what to tell them. So civil unrest. I did make some notes, just so I don't get off track too much. Although those of you who've been on the stream know that I can go down rabbit holes, and no pun intended, rabbit hole from rural Tennessee. And we can get off on many different discussions at the same time. So when we think about civil unrest, we probably don't think back as far as, the Rodney King riots. We really only have to go back down to 2020, when all that crazy protests were going on, and they were basically burning down cities and taking over cities. Tactical Nomad says, don't forget to hit the like. Yes, every like does matter. Make sure you guys hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed on YouTube, make sure you do that. And if you're watching from Facebook, make sure you follow us on Facebook. And if you're on X, make sure you follow us on X as well. Oh no, I forgot to turn off Streamlabs. That's all right. He can't actually do anything. He, she, whatever Streamlabs is. I totally forgot to do that. I said last time I was going to do that, and it completely slipped my mind to do it. If my moderator Thomas is here, Thomas, see if you can disable Streamlabs. You may not be able to because I'm in a different state and I have the program here, so you might not be able to do it. Anyway, so when I think of civil unrest, I think of all the crazy stuff going on with the protests and burning down cities and taking over things and all kinds of crazy stuff. I mean, there's a lot of things that can cause civil unrest. Could be political, could be economical, could be economic instability mainly, social movements, natural disaster, things like that. Especially if we were to lose power or even part of the grid in a big city over multi-day or hopefully not multi-week or longer. Then civil unrest is going to happen pretty quickly and be pretty insane. If you want to read a good book about what happens when things really go south and people are starving and have no other options, check out Survival Theory 2, which was written by Jonathan Holloman, who's also the star of our film Survival Bug Out from, I think, 2015 or 2016. That book will really make you think a lot. Rabbit Hole says, I learned many years ago that population centers are death traps when things go south. That is absolutely correct. We get a lot of comments on some of the videos we have out where people are like, well, why should I leave the cities? Well, because the cities will become very dangerous very quickly, especially in a long-term grid down type of scenario, or even a major natural disaster. I mean, even in LA County, there's I don't think it got completely crazy just because there was a lot of law enforcement and firefighters there, but people were there trying to loot houses that had just burned down. Just imagine what it would be like in somewhere like New York City or Chicago. Things would get completely out of control very, very quickly, especially once people realized, hey, you know what? This is something that's much bigger. This is a big event. We may be on our own for a lot longer than we thought. I mean, look at what happened during Hurricane Katrina in some of, like the stadium where people were. There was all kinds of people being assaulted and raped. There was a lot of stuff going on. So you really need to be careful. Let's see. So assessing the risk. You need to evaluate where it is that you live. Same as you would do if you're in any type of a city. You want to assess, do I need an alternate location if things go south in the country or there's a major event that happens? Am I not in a even semi-safe area? If you're in the middle of New York City, you are definitely not in a safe area. And if you have to gather a bunch of supplies and get out of there quickly, it's not going to be easy. It's going to be very difficult. You may have to go on foot. You might not be able to take a vehicle. So you really got to have a comprehensive pace plan to figure out exactly what you're going to do, how you're going to do it, and get your family trained for it. Rabbit Hole says, country living isn't for everyone. We are seeing people buying rural property and want exactly what they left. Exactly. There's a lot of people leaving the cities and going to rural areas, and they're essentially trying to bring the same nonsense from the cities into the more rural areas. So, Mel is here. She's very happy to have left the city and moved to the hills. Yeah, I think if I remember correctly, Mel was outside of Tampa. Not a great area. Not a great area at all. I'm sure she's very happy to be where she is now. Welcome to the stream, Marjorie. Welcome, Heather Lee. Good to see you. Heather, were you late? Were you a little bit late today? Or did you just now come in the chat? I'm just curious. You didn't miss much, so don't worry if you were late. Michael Lambert, most cities have 15 days or less of fresh food available. And I would say if you're planning on looting some kind of factory, or just everyone will. So don't think that you're going to find a place, some kind of distribution center that'll have food, because that'll most likely, everything will be gone in a relatively quick amount of time. The big cities are the absolute worst place to be for pretty much anything bad that happens. Yeah, Tactical Nomad makes a good point. Just because we have a proactive America First administration does not mean we can rest on our laurels. We need to push headfirst, headstrong, in order to keep us and our country free, and that's absolutely correct. A lot of people think that maybe we're going into a golden age. In some respects, maybe. But you have to remember, the powers that be are going to be fighting back tooth and nail with everything they have. Expect anything. And expect that things could go south quickly. There could be any number of things that could happen. Could be a terrorist attack on U.S. soil. There's just too many people that have gotten in the country in the millions. We don't even know who's here. We're trying to get rid of them as fast as we can, of course, but that's going to take a long time. If there's anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million violent criminals alone, what about all the sleeper cells? Or what about the people that maybe don't have a criminal record and are here for nefarious purposes, even though they might not have a record, or they may not have a record that we can trace? The numbers are probably shocking. They're probably astronomical. Heather, you didn't have to say you were late. You should have just said, no, I've been here the whole time, but I was busy and I didn't put anything in the chat. Nobody would have known the difference. I would have believed you. Maybe. Nah, I probably wouldn't have believed you. So just remember that. It doesn't matter what's happening, who's running the country. The bad actors are still out there. There's still any number of completely insane things that could happen. Literally anything could happen. And me personally, I would probably expect something bad to happen is probably more likely. Now that because I think we're going to get too comfortable. We're going to feel like things are going to go in the right direction. We're going to get very comfortable. And then the rug's going to get pulled out from under us. So we need to be ready for that. Now is not the time to take your foot off the gas pedal in any way. You should never do that anyway, no matter what's going on in the world or in the country. You should be prepared for anything, not just civil unrest, for everything, natural disasters. You should have a preparedness plan for everything in life because things go sideways. And a lot of the times things go sideways when you least expect it. Marjorie says, living in the sticks is great. Pretty self-reliant. Plan for the worst, hope for the... Yeah, plan for the worst, hope for the best. That's the way it should be for everyone. Always plan for the worst and hope for the best. I'm not saying live in fear. Nobody has to live in fear. Just be prepared. You wouldn't go out in negative 10-degree weather in your underwear and no shoes, right? Just be prepared. Be prepared in every aspect of life. Windy Me says, in my area, we have a lot of domestic wells that will be very easy to get fresh water from. Just keep in mind with those wells, if there's something that takes the grid down, if they don't have hand pumps, you know, how much fuel do you have to run generators? Are you able to set up the generators to run the pumps in the wells? Is it possible to have a hand pump kind of as a secondary, just in case? Do you have solar generators, solar power backup where you can use those wells? Things like that. Because if you have a well, awesome. But if something happens and you don't have a backup power supply and that pump goes down, or if the pump just goes down anyway, you should have a backup plan for that well. So your PACE plan for water should include some sort of a backup way, whether it's backup power or backup hand pump, something to that effect. You always want to have a plan, no matter what, with everything. Yeah, Marjorie says, never trust the government or rely on it. And absolutely correct. Don't ever trust the government. Tactical Nomad says, the golden age. Hold on, I got to scroll back up because this is my chat just got weird. Like it's mixing together now. Golden age. Problems boom. Boomers and Gen X are considered the golden era. I can't read that last line. Something's weird. As such, hold on. Let me try to redo this chat. Something's going on with the multi-stream chat. It got a little funky. All right, now I can see it. As such, is it up to us to make sure our children and grandchildren understand the importance of what the Founding Fathers gave of their blood, sweat, and tears to leave for us? Absolutely. I don't know what just happened with the chat there. It got weird. It's like the multi-stream chat kind of mixed with the YouTube chat, which is odd. Because I'm basically seeing chat from X, Facebook, and YouTube at the same time. And the screen just got a little funky. Looks like it's back to normal now. You know, the problem is we rely on technology so much right now. And there's not a lot of self-reliance anymore. We really need to get back to that. Because right now, if there's a major event, most people are done for. They're not going to have any way to take care of themselves and their family. Rabbit Hole says, we have created a life and lifestyle that will secure our future. Widespread civil unrest will not personally impact our lives. Fully agree that we must prepare based on our own local areas. Just keep in mind, too, and if, you know, some of you who may, I'm not Rabbit Hole, I don't mean you at all. You might have a plan already put together. But I know a lot of people that live in, you know, pretty rural areas, but they don't really have a community. They don't have a group. If you don't have a community or a group or even enough family members to defend the property, essentially, if you're not able to provide the 360-degree protection 24/7, whether that's working in shifts, there will be people that move away from cities and away from other areas that into your area. It will happen. So you need to have a good security effort in place. You need to have layers and layers of security as best as you can. Rabbit Hole, no, you can do long messages. Streamlabs acts like a fool, but Streamlabs I never said as a moderator, so Streamlabs doesn't have the power to stop your messages. I need to turn that off, but I don't want to try it now while we're live. But Streamlabs will say stupid things, but you can ignore them. Oh no, David's in here. He remembers that I said last time I would get rid of Streamlabs, and I completely forgot. It's not like I had, like 4 days to do it, and I just completely spaced and forgot to do it. Sorry about that. So anyway, back to security. You got to remember, with enough people, you can be overrun. even if you have a 4-person team that's amazing, you start to get 20, 30 people trying to smoke you out of your house or burn it down or just overwhelming you with force. It's going to be difficult. So try to have a community, try to have a group, try to have a really good system of security and many layers as possible. Security should be the same. You should have a PACE plan for security, a primary and alternate contingency, and an emergency. In security, especially. David Werner, the subject. I thought the subject was civil unrest, so when are we going to discuss my wife? Hey, I don't know if we can help you with that. All right, so essentially, you got to know your area. You have to know the likelihood of civil unrest that could happen in your community, especially if you live in a city. There's a company called Global Rescue. We partnered with them quite a while ago. We really don't do much. I think I have a link in the footer of our website, but we don't really make videos when it comes to Global Rescue. Global Rescue, you can do travel insurance through them, but you can also do security extraction, and they have a lot of ex-special forces that work for the company, and a lot of big corporations use Global Rescue. But beyond, paying for their yearly service for your family for security extraction, they have a really good system where you can log into the system. And I don't even think you have to pay to log into their system, where you can see everything that's actively happening, not just in this country, but all over the world. So if there's a protest happening in Portland, which is probably every day, or a protest happening in another area or city, you can read about what's happening. They kind of give you the rundown, the lowdown of, not just other countries, but the United States as well. And they give you the rundown of exactly what's happening when, so you can plan a little bit better if you're going to be out of town or you're going to be traveling. It gives you a good idea of what's going on in the world. Rabbit Hole says, just to answer your question, whoops, chat got weird again. Just to answer your question, yes, we have plans. Community, unfortunately, outsiders have to earn the trust of locals. And that's the way it should be. Should always have to earn the trust of the locals. Outsiders can be a danger. Commander Bell, on my street, I live in a row of apartments. My neighbors are strong security. Yeah, if you have a neighborhood where you're talking to each other and you have a good plan to come together as a team if something crazy happens, then that's what you need to do. You have to, the lone wolf thing is just too dangerous. You have to be able to rely on other people. You have to be able to help each other, but obviously you need to trust each other. And you can't pull all the weight. You can't be the only one in the neighborhood that's stockpiling, water filters and food and ammunition and whatever else it is that you guys are putting together. You should have some PACE plan and communications, whether it's walkie-talkies, GMRS, ham radio, whatever it is. Make sure the people in the neighborhood have communication beyond just cell phone or landline. Not that anyone has a landline anymore. Tactical Nomad says, this will allow me to have the ace of PACE. I like that, the ace of PACE. Rebecca G, I wish I wasn't in New York State, although I'm away from the cities. I've thought about the cave systems. I know it constantly stays around 50 to 53 degrees. I mean, I myself wouldn't want to live in a cave, and you don't know what kind of animals, bears, things like that could be staying in some of those caves. Not that you couldn't find a cave system that you could use, but to me, a cave system would probably be the E in PACE. It'd be the emergency. I wouldn't want, obviously, it wouldn't be your primary. Your primary is your home. I wouldn't go right from primary to your alternate to be in something like that. That's more of a primitive shelter. I think that should be reserved as a last resort. So maybe there's people, family, friends, somebody that lives maybe in a better area, maybe in a farming community. Maybe that can be your alternate or your contingency. I would just try to make sure that something like that is reserved if all the other plans fail. Let's see. Bobby Mulligan says, do you need a ham radio license to listen to other emergency stations or to listen to other emergency situations? So I think if you're going to do that, you would probably use a shortwave radio. I think if you're going to communicate with ham, you definitely need a license. There's a few different licenses, and I can talk about that in a minute because there's a company that offers prep training for licensing, and we got a coupon code with them for 10% off. But we decided not to be an affiliate, so we don't make any money. We just think it's going to be a really good resource to do it. So I think if you're not communicating, I don't think you need, but I don't know that for sure. I'm pretty new to ham radios. I just picked up a couple ham radios and I did a video on them the other day. I also picked up some really good Midland walkie-talkies that use GMRS, which can use repeaters. And for those, I didn't need a license, but I did need an FCC registration number. And I'm still waiting, actually, for my handle to come via email. I should have gotten that already, but I'm assuming I'm going to get it probably by tomorrow. Because to use GMRS, you have to have the FCC license number. And I'm actually going to pull up, it's hamradioprep.com. And the coupon code for 10% off, they have training that'll teach you all about ham radios, and they have a license prep course for the 3 different licenses for ham radio, but they have, I think they're still doing like an $80 for all 3 to get ready for the test for all 3 licenses. But it's hamradioprep.com, and the coupon code is, in all caps, survival. And again, we don't make a single penny if you guys use any of their services, buy any of their prep courses or any of that. We don't make any money. They offered to pay us to make a video, but we decided to do it for free because we think it's a resource that, people are really going to want to take advantage of. So I would definitely check that out. Tactical Nomad. I had a large tract of land, but rethought about a few years ago. I now have multiple pieces all stocked equally, so if bug out is necessary, all within 1 tank of fuel. This has allowed me to have the ace of base. Rabbit Hole says, I just received an old portable CB radio today, just another option for comms. We'll fire it up tomorrow. Yeah, and like I said, I made a video that talked specifically about pace planning for comms. Your primary, cell phone. Your alternate could be a satellite phone. Your contingency could be 2-way radio, walkie-talkie, or GMRS. Maybe your emergency is ham. Maybe some people have the licensing and they're really good at ham radio, and maybe they even have repeaters. So maybe that's their alternate. It's not set in stone what your alternate contingency and emergency plans are. It's based on your experience, your skill level, your equipment, and what you think is going to work better for you in your exact situation. There's some guys that'll come, say things like everybody should do things a certain way. That's nonsense. No one's going to have the exact same abilities or equipment or have the same circumstances. Even if they're neighbors, they might have completely different pace plans. And that's the way it should be. There is no one size fits all. The only thing that's one size fits all is you have to have shelter, stay warm, you have to eat, and you have to drink water. Those are pretty much the only things, and you need to take care of yourself medically, especially if you already have pre-existing issues. Those are really the only constants, shelter, fire, water, food, and medical. The rest of it, you can tailor your plan based on what you're able to do. You may have family members that are too sick or too young, and you're not going to be able to travel with them very far. So your alternate could be a relative's or a friend's house, but maybe you can't take your vehicle, and maybe those relatives can't go on foot. So maybe your alternate or even your primary changes a little bit, and you try to have your neighborhood be there as a community to protect each other. Because you may have other neighbors that are in the same situation that might not be able to leave. There's a lot of different things that you could do. Tactical Nomad, you do not need a license to listen to ham, only to transmit. Thank you very much. Tactical Nomad has 45 years of ham. It's all right. From now on, anybody with ham radio questions, you have to ask Tactical Nomad, because I am still a beginner to ham radio, and I'm going to take those prep courses, and I'm going to get all the licenses that I need, but that's going to take some time. So from now on, I have nominated Tactical Nomad to answer all ham radio questions. Commander Bell, I have handheld CB weather radio, car adapter, plug, and car antenna. You can get shortwave radios too to listen to communications and things like that. They sell some, inexpensive and some much better versions of, hand crank radios that'll use hand crank or solar and batteries. There's a lot of different ways to try to get communications. Rabbit Hole says, by the way, I have mushrooms in a dehydrator and must get them in vacuum sealed jars tonight. Tactical Nomad, best CB radio, Cobra 29 LTD WX, classic WX's NOAA weather channels. Hold on, I think I'm going to screenshot that. So I have the Midland, GMRS, and I have the kind of a cheaper Bofang, but I don't have a CB radio. And I thought about doing like a base station at the house and then a base station at a different location. So Tactical Nomad, I'm going to take a picture and I'm going to look that up after because I want to check that out. See, we all learn and stream. And sometimes it's from other people in the stream that have much more knowledge about a specific subject. All right, so we talked about assessing the risk, knowing your area, understanding hot zones, city centers, government buildings. Transportation hubs can be a bit of a hot zone as well. If you've ever been to Port Authority in New York City, it can be pretty crazy in places like that. I've been there when I was younger. Thought we were close to getting shot over an incident I won't tell the story on right now, at least. But that is a little bit of a crazy area. So civil unrest, you should have a PACE plan. Make sure your home is secured. You have layers of security, reinforced doors, windows, security systems. Some people, maybe they think it's a little too far, but some people like to even, if something crazy is happening, have some chicken wire or some of that hardware cloth. My son hates it when I call it that, but hardware cloth is basically, little squares. It looks like chicken wire, but it's squares. I still call it hardware cloth, but for whatever reason, he hates it when I do that. You could put that over the outsides of your windows, and it'll stop canisters, Molotov cocktails from going through the glass. You might still catch the side of the house on fire, but like a smoke canister or CS gas, they're going to have a hard time if you're stapling and securing that chicken wire. But obviously, don't just have it up in your house all the time, because if you have a fire and you stapled hardware cloth, really strong chicken wire to the windows, you might have a hard time getting out. And if you need to get out because there's a fire, just don't have that would be like boarding up the outside of your house. Just don't board it up. I'm just saying, maybe have a roll of the hardware cloth. So if you are in a more dangerous area, especially a city or in a suburb that does get dangerous for people filtering out of the city, maybe it's close, and all of a sudden there's a bunch of crazy stuff going on and riots happening, have a roll. Get ready to put it up, at least in the windows in the front that are facing the main street, so you have a better chance to stop projectiles from coming through your window. Thank you, DC. He says it's hardware cloth. And damn it, it is hardware cloth. I'm not going to let anyone tell me otherwise. Why am I even letting my son's only 15? What does he know about hardware cloth? He's probably going to text me if he's listening and be like, it's not hardware cloth, Dad. But it is. So another thing you can do, and I don't have it on my current vehicle at home, but I did have, I think it's called Lumar, with 2 L's. Lumar, I think it's 2 L's. It's basically safety glass protected. It's kind of like tint, but it's thicker than tint. It's got a thicker mill than tint. And if you watch some of the videos, I probably wouldn't buy like the cheaper versions on Amazon unless they have a ton of reviews and testing. But I had it in one of my other vehicles, and in the cases where they did testing on that particular security film, it can take 5 to 10 minutes, even with a small sledgehammer, to get through the window of a vehicle. So if you have the opportunity to get some security film, and it's not always easy. A lot of the tint places don't do it. I found a tint place in Lawrence, Massachusetts, probably about a decade ago that originally put it on my vehicle. They were actually putting it on some FBI vehicles as well. But it really, if anything, it gives you enough time to have your personal protection at the ready if someone's trying to smash through the windows in your vehicle. And the good news is you can put that stuff on your house windows. And you can even get thicker mill. You can't go too thick on the security film of the vehicle because your windows might have an issue getting down. So the ones for the house are typically thicker and much harder to break through. I mean, we're talking somebody you can throw a rock through, and they're going to have to smash that so much that they take the entire pane of glass out in one shot, or try to get it. It's going to take at least 10 minutes if you use a good quality film to be able to get through. So I would highly recommend, and the good news is, you can put it on so that it's hard to smash from the outside, but it's easier if you have to get out from the inside in, say, a fire. So it's definitely something you want to look into, is security film for your windows, not just in your house, but also in your vehicle. It gives you peace of mind, too, that if you leave something in your vehicle and you're in a store in kind of a bad neighborhood, it gives you the chance to not worry Because if someone's going to spend 5+ minutes trying to break in through the glass, somebody's going to see that. All right, I need to go back up and read through the comments because I missed quite a few. Tactical Nomad says, once you get your CB, have it clipped and peaked. Also get 100 amp linear for shit hit the fan. I have my CB, GMRS, and ham set up as bag radios where I take them on the go. Yeah, I definitely need to work on the communications game when it comes to ham radios specifically, and I really want to do more with CB. MC Stormy, Tyrannical Yoda says, kill them all. There, I answered your civil unrest. Wait a minute. MC Stormy, are you Yoda from Discord? Because that is the only Yoda that I know that would make that comment. I bet you that's you. If it's not you, I'd be surprised. All right, Streamlabs just talking smack again. Streamlabs 100 blue. Nick V doing another giveaway. You know, I did talk about doing another big giveaway, and I kind of, it completely fell off the radar. So I need to plan that. It fell off the radar because I was trying to finish the book, and I never got back into the swing of, hey, let's get a giveaway going. But that's a great idea. I really need to get back into that. Wish I had a pen handy so I could write that down. I'm going to remember. This time, I'm going to remember. I've just had so much stuff trying to do to get ready to get the book to come out. And I still have a lot of stuff I need to do, you know, with a little bit of advertising. We're not going to advertise a lot, but I need to get some of that stuff going. Tactical Nomad says, being as mobile as you can with all the preps is best because you never know when you may have to bug out. North Carolina and California are prime examples, exactly. And I keep all of my electronics. I don't use, can't remember, a Pelican case. I use an Apache case. It's a little bit cheaper. You can get it at, oh man, I'm going to forget the name of the store again. Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight is where I get the Apache cases. I usually keep my camera equipment in those. And I keep all of my electronics, all my stuff for communications in those. And I keep them in the truck wherever I go. So they're with me every day, just in case. All right. Gav. Oh, you're out here doing cost work, priceless knowledge, and generosity to share. Thank you. I appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. You know, we try to, at least now we're doing twice a week. We were doing it a lot more often, but it's hard to find the time. But man, I love coming on here and talking to you guys. And when you run into guys that also have knowledge in specific areas like Tactical Nomad, you just can't beat it because everybody can learn together. That's why it's good to have a community. If you can, I really want this, not just a live stream, but I want Survival Summit to start connecting with more people so that more people can connect with each other. That would be the ultimate goal. Tactical Nomad says, I have had my original Cobra 29 LTWX since the 80s, and I just picked up 2 more. Wow, from the 80s, huh? Well, I have that screenshot, so when this stream ends tonight, I am definitely going to be looking that up, for sure. So anyway, if you have a chance, check out some of that security film. Not just for your home. You definitely want it in your home, especially if you have, you know, sliding doors in the back and other, you know, larger pieces of glass that people can get through. I would put it everywhere if possible. You'd probably pay more if you had it professionally installed, but you can buy it as a kit and you can install it yourself. And it's not as bad as tint. It's a little bit thicker, so it's a little easier. You don't have to worry as much about getting bubbles out. So I would definitely look into security film. And if you're traveling through cities or areas where, you know, maybe there could be a protest and you're worried about that, man, I'm telling you, get that Lumar film. The guys that were doing it in, I think it was Lawrence, Mass, where I originally got it done, they were telling me that they do a ton of FBI vehicles. It's not going to stop bullets, of course, but the guy was saying that even like a small 22 round, it's not going to stop it, but it could throw it off its trajectory a little bit. It's pretty strong film, but it's really made for, you know, someone trying to get in with a motorcycle helmet or a brick or a rock or a hammer. It's going to give you, at the very least, plenty of time to get your offense going against a threat. So I would, 100% I would check it out. All right, so back to pace planning for civil unrest. We talked about the primary. And, of course, you want to make sure that your family is involved in all of your safety planning and training and fully on board with what your pace plan is. You also want to have an evacuation plan. So this could be your alternate, have an evacuation plan with multiple routes and multiple destinations. This doesn't mean to have different, bug out locations. But if you already have an alternate in a contingency, those could be the evacuation places that you go to. Or maybe instead of your full alternate, you have someone that lives just a little bit further away that's easier to get to if something goes crazy in the area where you are. Not necessarily your full alternate plan, but a safer area to get to. And again, try to have mutual aid agreements with trusted neighbors and or friends. Very, very important. Marjorie Mudo, how about RV protection when you're traveling? Any suggestions? So I guess it depends on what kind of RV you have. But if you can get Lumar safety glass on your RV, for sure. The thing I would worry about the most in an RV is the door. Because the doors don't seem to be that secure. So maybe there's a way you can put extra security, like an extra security bar inside, depending on if the door swings in or out. There's so many different RVs that are out there. I guess it really depends on what you have, what the setup is, to try to be a little bit more protected. Tactical Nomad, if the monitor goes out, replaced. If the computer goes out, replaced. Yeah, I definitely got to check those out. Thank you, Rabbit Hole. I appreciate it. Rabbit Hole says, great content, great channel, great content. Marjorie has a 32-foot Class A. I would, since you're technically a family member, I would send me some pictures. Shoot me some pictures at some point of the entry points of the RV, the windows, things like that. Just send them through, Facebook Messenger or something like that. And then I can look up the model as well and kind of see what they might have for something like that. All right. Contingency for pace planning for civil unrest could be some kind of a safe house in a better area that's a little quiet, especially if it's not like a big, huge issue that's, like the grid going down. If it's just, riots or things like that are probably going to pass over and things will get a little bit back to normal, just have another location as a safe house that you can go to. And of course, you definitely should have gear in other locations. Part of your pace plan, you should never have all your gear in one place. You want to have your go bags, you want to have extra documents, communication gear, things like that. This time I'm not going to throw all the papers on the floor. Hold on 1 second. Tactical Nomad says, all of my cases are Apache. I have tested every other one for waterproofness, never had a problem. All my electronics, camera gear. I love the Apache, and they're so much cheaper than Pelican cases. Yeah, maybe Pelican cases have a better crush rating or something if they get driven over, but I've never had a problem with the Apaches, and I really like them a lot. So for the amount of savings, they're so cheap. You can pick up the Apache cases really cheap. I really like them a lot. Marjorie says, where I live going off, oops. Why does this chat keep doing this? It's like getting garbled. Hold on, let me refresh that. All right, that's better. Where I live going off the grid happens a few times of winter, hence the wood stove, gravity-fed spring. Yeah, that gravity-fed spring on the back of the property is pretty awesome. That is definitely handy. I have had drinks of water from that spring with a cousin while we were doing some firearms training a little bit further back on the other property. Anyway, sorry everybody to just talking about things you don't know what I'm talking about. Sorry. But anyway, my family member has a really, really amazing gravity-fed spring in the back of the property. And it's crystal clean water. It's amazing. All right, so personal safety during unrest. Of course, you want to avoid the conflict zone. You want to monitor the news, apps like Citizen. Somebody mentioned that app to me. I have not looked at that, but I need to look at that and see if it's any good. And then obviously police scanners. If you have a police scanner, might be better just to see what's happening in the area that you are. And of course, don't engage or escalate any situations if you get caught during unrest. Just try to pretend like, you don't want to be aggressive, but you don't want to look like an easy mark either. You don't want to look like a victim. And then, travel safely. You wear inconspicuous clothes. Don't try to avoid logos, military style gear. But having said that, in the book, pace planning, it goes over gray man, because a lot of people have a misconception about what gray man is. A lot of people say that gray man is don't ever wear camo, don't ever do this, but that's not how gray man works. Gray man is based off the baseline of your area. And there's a really, really good course. If you guys check out Sheepdog Response, I used to be the chief operating officer there, and they have a really good online training film for situational awareness. And they really go over a lot when it comes to the baseline of the area, because where I am now in northern Vermont, especially during hunting season, if I wasn't wearing camo and I was wearing like a hoodie and what, I might look out of place. So just remember that. Gray man is just fitting in to the baseline of whatever area you happen to be in. If you're in a big city, you get a lot of different people, suits, hoodies. The baseline could be different in certain neighborhoods in the city. You really have to know what the baseline is for that area. Rabbit Hole says OODA loop, absolutely. We went over a whole situational awareness stream talking about OODA loop, and I believe that one's still up that you guys could watch if you'd like. Tactical Nomad says every family member should have 2 bags. Every bag should be similar with color coding for each person. 1 bag kept in the house, 1 in the vehicle, redundancy for all contingencies. Yeah, as many bags as you can that cover, shelter, fire, water, food, land nav, signaling, self-defense, of course, but most of your self-defense is EDC, so you should really have a lot of that stuff on you. You should also carry at least a knife. Aside from your primary weapon, you should have, a flashlight, a tourniquet, a multi-tool, whatever you can wear on you as EDC. Just less things to have to worry about. All right, let's see. And of course, when you're traveling, make sure, a lot of people let the gas get too low, and then sometimes they get stuck in traffic, especially in the cities, and some people run out of gas. You want to pre-fill your tank as much as possible, and you want to have an emergency kit. In this book, another really good thing, I don't know which chapter it is, but essentially the gear list, including winter supplemental gear, including gear that you would want for your vehicle for emergency preparedness, it's all listed in one of the chapters in the book. I put the entire, I'm going to see if I can find it. Yeah, I do have it in here. All right. So let me try to do a little zoom in. Pull up that window. Whoops, that is not it. Hold on. All right, here we go. The Super. This is going to be a little bit harder to see, but essentially the entire gear list is listed in here. And it goes through backpacks, fire, shelter, water, food, first aid, navigation, signaling, tools, supplemental items such as emergency antibiotics, wool socks, clothing, stuff, all kinds of stuff. Basic winter items. Hold on. You don't need to be looking at my face all zoomed up like this. And other gear like a roadside assistant kit, gas cans, a gas siphon, which could really come in handy, fire extinguishers, shovels, basic tool sets, tire inflators, road maps, tire chains, all kinds of stuff. And even before that, there's a section that goes over a gear assessment, and you can fill out what you have in each category, what condition it's in, what upgrades might be needed, and what the priority level is. So there's a lot of things in this book that'll help you. Like I said, this book is not going to teach you how to start a fire. It's going to give you the pace planning framework for pretty much everything in preparedness. Almost, I would say it's probably every category, unless I forgot a category here and there. Oh, before I forget, Thursday, I will be on, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on YouTube, Facebook, and X. But I will be on with Dr. Roland, who's the founder of Jace Medical. So I was able to get Dr. Roland to come on the stream on this Thursday, to talk about Jace Medical, which is basically off-grid emergency antibiotics and things like that. These kits, and actually you can do an add-on, it's pretty cool, for ivermectin. And I did the add-on for the ivermectin, and there's a bunch of different antibiotics, and there's a lot of it even has a Z-Pack. There's a lot of documentation that kind of goes through, what everything is. It gives you a lot of medical guidance, and this is really if you're off-grid or if you're going to be out of the country. It's a way to have backup antibiotics and medications. And we did become an affiliate with Jace, and there is a link in the bio. So if you go to any of our social media outlets, there's a link in the bio. So Thursday, don't worry, Thursday is not going to be an infomercial where I try to get you to go to the link and sign up to get the Jace case. Thursday is going to be kind of a Q&A, And a lot of the Q&A is going to come from you guys. I don't even have a set question list for the doctor. I have questions in my mind of what I want to ask him, but I don't have a set question list, and I didn't send them a set question list. And I really hope that a lot of you in the comments can ask questions, and then we can go through that with the doctor and get information about emergency antibiotics. And I believe Jace is one of the only, I think it's the only company where you can do it in the United States and Canada. So the Jace case and the gear and all the add-ons and stuff are good in both countries. But I really want to talk to them and get some more information, because there's a lot of situations where if you don't have some backup antibiotics, you could run into some serious trouble, especially if, some large-scale event were to happen. All right, let's see. See, I'm going off track all the time. But I feel like we're touching on subjects and things that we really need to talk about. I kind of wrote a section that talks about, oh, you know what? I skipped a part. Self-defense. Defending yourself and your property. Other than having your layered security like alarms and motion lights and cameras, and if you have dogs, even better, self-defense is a big one. I say it all the time. You can't just say, oh, I'm just going to shoot them. That's not really how that works. People get in close enough, you're going to have a very difficult time. And if you don't have any fighting skill, whether it's wrestling or Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Muay Thai or boxing or whatever it is, you really need to be able to handle yourself, not just on your feet, but also on the ground. And it's never too late to start training. Try to get self-defense training, because strictly weapons may not be enough, especially if you go up against someone that has training. Tactical Nomad says, FYI, people need to stay away from synthetic antibiotics. They are damaging to the body. Well, Tactical, you should come on and we can ask the doctor any questions related to that Thursday as well. Let's see. So I put a spot in here for Civil Unrest Survival Kit. And really it's just some of the core basic items like food and water for a minimum of 72 hours. And that's obviously a very minimum. First aid kit, personal medications, communications tools, and personal protective equipment like goggles, dust masks. Think about when the towers came down, all that dust and crazy. A lot of people got cancer. A lot of firefighters got sick over the years. If you have some way to protect your lungs, even if it's just a dust mask in your go bag, that could help you, because you don't ever know what's going to happen. Nobody in New York City expected that. They didn't expect all that craziness to happen when the towers came down. So having basic supplies is very important. Obviously, you want to also have copies of your ID, insurance, emergency contacts, and waterproof bags, and small denominations of cash for quick transactions. Obviously, not in a grid down. You're not really going to have a lot of use of cash if people are really just wanting food and water. So someone had asked the same guy actually asked if we could talk about kind of dealing with FEMA. I didn't really put together anything crazy for the whole FEMA thing. It's, I would say this about FEMA. If you are going to rely on FEMA in a dangerous situation, you've already made a mistake. Because as people in North Carolina found out, FEMA is not always going to help you. And they may not even be able to help you. Some people think FEMA is mostly volunteer, but it's actually not. FEMA is not all volunteer. I think it's not a not-for-profit. They do have volunteer agencies and NGOs that have people that volunteer for them. But again, you want to stockpile food, water, medicine, fuel yourself. Try to get a minimum of 30 days when it comes to the main items. You want to just don't rely on government agencies. If we as a country haven't learned that after all of the crazy things that have happened in this country, then I don't know what to tell people. You just cannot rely on the government in any way, shape, or form, especially when it comes to financial assistance. It's just crazy. What are they going to give people $700? Oh, thanks. I just lost literally everything I own, and you have a little bit of money, which isn't going to do me any good at all. And if you do have to meet with FEMA, limit the personal information. Don't give them too much information. Don't give them personal and financial details when it comes to processing claims. Give them the minimum amount of information that you need to. Be careful about sharing sensitive data. I'm not saying act like they're the police and just give them limited, but I'm kind of am saying that. You need to be careful. You don't know who they are. And obviously, a big thing, secure your digital presence if you're in a FEMA camp of some kind, if you're in a big area where there's a big natural disaster, and don't be relying on public Wi-Fi at places like a FEMA center. You want to make sure that you're using, I like to use on here, on my phone and all my other devices, I use ExpressVPN. So if you have ExpressVPN, that's a good one to use. And you should use that everywhere. If you're using public Wi-Fi, or even if you're not, it kind of keeps you a little more invisible. You should be encrypting your connections no matter where you are, because it's a lot easier for people to clone your devices and do a lot of crazy stuff. And of course, keep a low profile, which you really should be doing anyway. But I didn't really, like I said, I didn't get too much into the FEMA stuff. I would just say, just don't rely on them. Don't depend on a government agency to help you. You need to have your own supplies, your own. DK plus 9. So DK plus 9, for those of you who do not know, is the original founder of Survival Summit. DK plus 9 in the chat. Welcome. You're super late. So what the hell, man? Anyway, I didn't actually send him a reminder that I was going to be on today. But DK plus 9, and he's actually the one who filmed pretty much all the original Survival Summit films. And when we get back going strong again, he will be back, and he will be doing all the new Survival Summit films. Commander Bell, my relatives survived Hurricane Katrina. They learned the hard lesson, never depend on the government again. Exactly. Heather Lee says, I know that I don't trust my neighbors enough to even let them know that I'm a prepper. Yeah, if you don't trust your neighbors or the people in your community, do not. Like, some people might be tempted, like, hey, Joe next door, man, you got to come check out my basement and look at all this cool stuff I got. Don't do that. Do not do that. Because you're going to put it in Joe's head that if crap hits the fan, who do you think Joe's coming to? Joe might not even knock on your door. He may kick the door down just to get to your stuff. So you really need to be careful. DK9 plus 9 says, building stuff, lost track of time. You are an ass. Thank you for coming late. I thought we were super close. I thought we were like this. Now I find out we're like this. Can't even show up on time for the stream. Terrible. For those of you who weren't around, 5, 6, 7 years ago, Daniel and I used to do kind of like, we streamed on Twitch and we used to do it together. And it really just kind of devolved into just a constant back and forth ball busting. But it was fun. I thought it was fun. Anyway, we need to get DK plus 9. We need to get you on this stream at some point. We need to have you come on as a guest and talk about the good old days of Survival Summit and all kinds of crazy stuff. Mel says, it's kind of funny, many FEMA calls that I have gotten since the president came here the other day. I guess FEMA wants to help now. Yeah, well, they're kind of being forced to try to help as many people as possible because they know that their jobs are on the line, essentially. And ignore Streamlabs. Streamlabs is just on here running its face again, but don't worry. It cannot remove your messages because I did not give it the moderator positions. Or, you know what I mean. I didn't give it the moderator status to be able to do anything like that. Tactical Nomad says, I am a former paramedic with neonatal intensive care specialty, BOS degrees in biology, physiology, biomechanics of the human body, and others. People need to learn about their microbiome and how pharmaceuticals damage it. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of pharmaceuticals myself. I don't, I hate most types of medications, I really do. And I definitely hate painkillers. I had a spinal fusion. They basically kicked me out of the hospital the day I got out of surgery because they kept putting stuff in the IV, and I'm like, man, you're drug pushers. Get this crap away from me. The pain meds, they make me feel like my head is not clear and I'm not thinking straight, and I can't stand that. But I will tell you, the pain was horrendous. So the only other time I tried to take a pain med was when I was at the house, maybe a day or so after the surgery, and I could not sleep for a couple days, and the pain was excruciating. So I did take, I don't remember what it was, but I took one. I had to go to the hospital because I legitimately thought maybe I was having a heart attack. I was all messed up, and I never touched the stuff again. I just, for whatever reason, me and pain meds don't mix. I hate them with a passion. MC Stormy, if I know certain people are preppers, you know They stockpile supplies, be one of the first people you target if supplies are low. People only care about themselves, about self-survival when it comes down to it. You know, it's even beyond that, because normal people, let's say you have a neighbor who's, you know, a really nice guy, and he would never, you just know his character. He's not the kind of guy who would hurt someone or even try to hurt someone. But if that guy has a family, especially kids and young kids, and he watches his kids starving, things are going to change. He is going to become a different person. Not because he was always evil or he was always a maniac, but because he's not going to be able to handle watching his children starve to death. He is going to become a different person on a more animalistic level to human nature, and he may be the one that kicks down your door and takes your stuff. And it may not be because he's just a dirtbag. It may be because they're literally starving. And if no one was able to help him or willing to help him, people are going to take things into their own hands. You have to remember, people will fall back to a different type of mindset if things get really bad. That's just the way it's going to be. Let's see. Heather Lee says, DK plus 9, welcome. Welcome, even though you were late. But I can't say that because Heather was also late. But Heather was not nearly as late as Daniel was. Daniel just strolled in here like way after the fact. He's like, what's up? Yeah, DK plus 9. Those streams were great, getting hammered and talking about survival. You are the man. Hey, I'm pretty sure the only one that was getting hammered during the streams was you. Well, I don't really drink. I'll tell you, DK plus 9 can put down some serious liquor. But hopefully he's not really drinking anymore and he's trying to become a new person, a better man. It's unlikely, but I'll get him there eventually. MC Stormy says, I'm only speaking truth from the survival side of things when it comes down to it. It's you or them. Them don't care about you. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, human nature can be pretty crazy. Especially when people are desperate. And especially when they have family they have to take care of. A lot of normal people turn into extremely desperate people. And you're going to have people that, even though they're not desperate, they are still going to be trying to take your stuff, maybe even people in your family. I mean, there's a lot of sick, crazy, deranged psychopaths out there. And it would only be amplified in bad situations. Oh, Commander Crunk, it's Chili Bo from Discord. It's about time somebody from Static Trading shows up in this damn stream. I just want to say that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I told a couple different people that I was live streaming a couple times a week, and I probably should have told more people, but Chili, what's up? Haven't talked to you in, a year, 2 years, something crazy? I don't even remember. And Chili Bo, you can ignore Streamlabs. He doesn't have the power to stop any of your chat. You can type whatever you want. Well, maybe not whatever you want, but you know what I mean. All right, let's see. What did I miss? DK plus 9. Advil messes up your liver. Liver go bad, then life goes bad. Find alternative ways to deal with pain. Yeah, try water and caffeine first. Rest before meds. Chili. Actually, I think I still have your info on Discord. I should have reached out and told you that I was streaming again. I was streaming every day between TikTok live stream, and then I switched here, and now we do the live stream Tuesdays and Thursdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, and it's simulcast on YouTube, Facebook, and X all at the same time. I did Instagram, but Instagram is funky. Instagram chat doesn't enter the multi-stream chat, and I have to do a stupid stream key every time, and it narrows the screen, so I just stopped doing it. Let's see. Pro 420 Pure Blood. Quit. I don't even know what you're saying. Worsbu. WROSBU. I don't even know what you're talking about. Maybe be a little more. Oh. All right, we got to figure out a way to block this fool. You know, Pro, the best way to talk smack is in person. Because, all right, I got to log on to YouTube just to get rid of this clown real quick. Just give me a second. Figure out a way to block this. Whoop. I got to block the audio there. Let me block this dirtbag. Bye-bye, Pro 420. Nobody cares about your opinion. See ya. All right. Got rid of that guy. Whoops. Nope. Don't want to do that. All right. We're back. Sorry. Wait. So MC Stormy, I'm Yoda. So are you Chili? Chili, is MC Stormy, is that Yoda from Discord or is that somebody else claiming to be Yoda? Because if you're not Yoda from Discord, you're not the real Yoda. I just want to point that out. Oh, he says he was watching hockey. I think that is the real Yoda. Because nobody else would say that except the real Yoda. I just can't call you Commander Crunk. I have to call you Chili. Chili Bo. Still got my good. Yeah, hey, man. I got to get... Well, man, I don't have time really to get back on the main Discord channel. I need to get Survival Summits Discord back up and running and do it that way. MC Stormy, I put your live stream in statics. Oh, whoa. All right, cool. How many people we got in there right now? You got to tell those guys they got to jump on YouTube so they can get in the chat and say hello. I haven't been on there in at least a year. It's been a while. Let's see. Yeah, Marjorie says learn how to use natural meds from nature and essential oil use. For sure. Definitely learn about medicinal plants and things like that as much as humanly possible. Commander Crunk, talk smack, get clapped. Yeah, some guy came on talking all kinds of nonsense. Which, it happens every once in a while. But that's what happens, you get blocked. MC Stormy, Jets #1. Come on now. Come on now. All right, let's see. I seem like I missed a lot of chat. I'm trying to scroll back up just to see what I might have missed. And yes, Chili Bo says that is the real Yoda. Hey, it's cool to have you guys in here. DK+9 Discord slacker. I know the Survival Summit Discord exists. I just haven't gotten in there to kind of revamp it and really get it back going. But I need to do that. I definitely need to do that. And again, I'm going to use my new cool camera feature here to show you guys the book. Boom. Pace Planning, your guide to emergency preparedness and bug out strategies, out now on Amazon. It's $24.95 for the soft cover, but you can get the Kindle version for $9.99. Can't beat that. $10. Kindle version for $10. And make sure you leave a review. I'm not going to say leave a good review because you're not supposed to say that. Leave the review that you think it deserves. Hopefully it's a good one. If not, well, I'll find you. I'm just kidding. Anyway, hey, so DK+9. I stopped using the Nikon Z8 because, one, I couldn't get the eye tracker things to stop. I couldn't get this auto zoom to work right without seeing it as a pass-through. I probably should have called you to figure that out, but I picked up the OSB bot, this little Ozbot camera, and it streams in 4K, and it is amazing. I can set presets to zoom in like this in the book. I can do presets to zoom in on my face. I can do presets to zoom in whatever I want. I can do tracking. I could get up and walk around and it'll just follow me around. It's, yeah. So DK+9 is the one. Oh, I don't even know why I did that. I could have just zoomed in on the book. He is the one who made the cover for this book for me. Thank you, DK+9. I did get a couple people say the white lettering looks a little like it's hard to see, but that's not the case when you have the book up close. It actually doesn't look like that. What you're seeing is a lot of the lighting from the stream, and like in some of the pictures on the product, it'll look different. But up close, you don't see that. It doesn't look super white. You can read the lettering just fine. It's all got a black outline around the letterings. It's just I have multiple lights in here, and every time I show this book, it looks like it just doesn't. It looks better in person for sure. That eye zoom from cover was groundhog level memeage. I love this new camera. It's pretty awesome. Mel says Discord would be a great way to get people together, like you mentioned. Yeah, I definitely need to get the Discord channel does exist, and I think there's still like 40-something people in there, but I never actually got on more than a couple times and really did anything in there. The problem is I'm very short on time. I mean, I'm constantly in a different state. I'm in Vermont. I was in New Hampshire last year. I'm in Vermont this year. I may end up in New York State, not New York City. I may end up near Lake George, maybe towards the end of the year. I'm not 100% sure. Who knows? I could be anywhere. I go where I'm called to go. So you never know where that might be. Commander Crunk says, I remember you talking about this stuff. I need to get a long-range fuel tank and invest in good radio equipment. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. But hey, you know what you need to do, Chili Bo? The first thing you need to do is you need to go buy my book. That's what you need to do. Because the book goes over pace planning from everything: shelter, fire, water, food, land nav, signaling, tools, medical, self-defense, first aid, security. You name it, it's in there. And again, I'm not trying to teach people how to do things like an instructor. I'm not an instructor. There's plenty of instructors out there that will teach you all the ins and outs of, detailed preparedness. But this gives you a really good framework for your primary, alternate, contingency, and emergency plans in pretty much all regards when it comes to survival and preparedness. So it's a really good way to assess any holes you might have in your preparedness game. Mel, make Yoda manage it. Actually, that's not a bad idea. I actually should get Yoda. What do you think about kind of managing the Survival Summit Discord? You could be the very first mod in Discord. What do you think about that? Let me know. DK plus 900% Mel, give Jesse crap to push Discord. I absolutely do need to push Discord. Even if it's not me in there a lot, which I can still try to get in sometimes, it's very difficult. I'm really trying to do a lot of prep for the streams. I try to put a little bit of, I've been taking notes about the stuff I want to talk about, just to keep myself on point, to make sure I'm talking about the stuff I need to talk about. DK plus 9, Commander, also the comms film. I tried to make dry content as entertaining as possible. Yeah, and I really need to get DK plus 9 back in the mix, making new films. We need to really revamp Survival Summit and kind of get back to where we were before COVID, because the whole COVID years really, really screwed everything up pretty badly. It screwed up a lot of different things, and everything kind of went south for a while. And it's been difficult trying to get everything back to where it needs to be. So when I lost DK plus 9 from being able to do a lot of films and content, no fault of his own, just, things happen. We need to get him back. Because me behind a camera, I don't think so. I can make basic content and a little bit of basic editing, for social media clips, but not films. That is not me. I am terrible at it. And I really haven't learned even remotely close to what I would need to. Not for full production films, where you're correcting the color correction and audio and figuring out even just the basic stuff like how to make this scene look better, how to make this more enjoyable and more watchable. Things like that. Tactical Nomad bought 2 to 100-gallon diesel truck bed tanks plumbed in for long range, and I can refuel other diesels from it too. Yeah, a lot of the site contractors have those tanks, and they can be very, very handy. See Stormy, I mod the sports show Discord I watch, plus statics. I'm a pro mod. I got a good resume. Plus, the guy you want to build it is DJ. So, I've actually already built it. The Survival Summit Discord already exists, and it's already got a bunch of different channels, a bunch of different live rooms. It's pretty much built. I completely lost track of really building it up to what I needed it to be. And things just got kind of slow, and then I just stopped. I didn't really do much with the Discord. But it's basically ready. It's there. It's pretty put together. I'd have to go through and make sure everything is the way it's supposed to be. But it's in pretty good shape already. Commander Krug, next. Whoops. Chat just got weird again. Hold on. Let me refresh. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Oh, next mount. The truck mounted MG. Pew, pew, pew. DK plus 9 had to leave because of COVID. Not what I wanted. It was that best for TSS. Yeah. It's definitely hard to produce films when travel was locked down, when locations weren't available, when instructors really didn't want to do much. It was terrible. It was a terrible, terrible, probably 2 to 3 years. And things just really haven't come back from that just yet. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, DK plus 9, you would like M Stormy. We call him Yoda. That's his name on the old Discord channel. Not on Survival Summit Discord, but on Static Trading. If you guys are into crypto and things like that, you should check out Static Trading. I think you still have to pay to join that. Discord, as far as I know. Chili or somebody or Yoda, let me know if that's not the case, but it is well worth it. There's a lot of really good information on there. Tactical Nomad says I have another YouTube channel and Facebook page. Practical Civilian Official. Sorry, that this chat keeps getting jumbled. Like, I don't know what's going on with the multi-stream chat. This has never happened before. It's only today. So 2025 is the year of uploading more content to both platforms now that I've retired from other endeavors. I've been teaching self-reliance since 78. Whoa! You've been teaching self-reliance since I was 2. I was only 2 years old in 1978. I know I look old. It's the white beard. Makes me look old. I do have hair. I've actually been letting it grow back a little bit, but I'm not going to keep it because it's also white. So I'm going to stick with bald. And that's just the way it's going to be. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to take another screenshot, Tactical Nomad, because I want to remember that YouTube channel so I can check it out. I have such a bad memory. If I don't take screenshots of a lot of different things, then it doesn't really go well. And I never remember anything. Busy Bees. Man, I haven't heard that name in a while. A long while. How long have I been gone from that server? It's been at least a year. Things just got kind of hairy and very, very crazy and busy for quite a while for a lot of different reasons. And I just never ended up coming back. But hey, now, because Daniel's not going to let it go, I'm going to have to get Survival Summits Discord back up and running. And if I have time to do that this weekend, then when I come back on Tuesday, because Thursday we'll be talking to the doctor. Probably won't get into much with Discord because it'll be, a 2-person stream, like a co-host kind of thing. So over the weekend, I'll try to clean up Discord and get it kind of ready to go. And then maybe I'll drop, because you don't, on the channel, you don't have to pay to join the Discord. It's, you can just join it. And maybe if I get it ready, I'm not going to promise I'll have it ready, but if I get it ready, then I'll drop the link in chat when we stream again next week. If I get it ready. I really am doing a lot as far as the book, trying to get as much as I can promotionally out, trying to run a few small ads here and there. I have a couple bigger names that are going to be dropping a video on social media about the book. One of the gentlemen has about 1.5 million people that follow him, and I've sent him the book. It's a little bit late. USPS really screwed me. But as soon as he gets it, which could be as early as tomorrow, I'm assuming this week he's going to drop a video talking about it. So that could be big. And then I have another gentleman with a bigger YouTube channel. It's probably 3 times the size of Survival Summits. That's also ordered a book and he wants to check it out. And he's going to make a video and let people know as well. And at some point in the next 2 weeks, I will be adding the book to my website as well as the TikTok shop. So I'll have it available on those. But on the website, I'm going to do it differently. I'm going to give the book away for free for anyone who signs up for a subscription, which gives you access to all of our instructional films as online streaming. So you could pay $19.95 a month, but if you only want to get the first month, get the free book and then cancel. I don't care. You can cancel. Not a big deal. I'm not going to, like I say all the time, I'm not going to email you and be like, hey, why'd you cancel the subscription? I don't care. So essentially, you're going to pay $19.95, and if you can cram 40 hours of high-quality instructional films in that month, as well as another 30 hours of some old webinars going over more survival discussions. If you can cram in 70 hours of content and get a book and still only pay $19.95, less than the softcover cost on Amazon, you'd be crazy not to do it. So that's probably, initially, I'm only going to offer it as free if you sign up for a subscription. And again, you don't have to email to cancel your subscription. You don't have to call. You don't have to email. You just have to log in, go to your account, says my account, and then cancel. And if you cancel, you'll still have it for the rest of the month. It'll auto-cancel. It just won't renew on the second month. So you could literally go on, pay the $19.95, get the book, and even if you cancel the same day, your account won't cancel to the end of that first month that you paid for. It doesn't go by the first of the month. It goes by whatever the date you signed up. And the 30 days after that. And even if you've already canceled, as long as you paid your first month, you'll still get the book. You could technically sign up for a subscription today and you'll get the book, but you won't get the book. I put a note in there that you would have to wait till the middle of February because the book's not coming probably until the 9th or the 10th, roughly. And I don't know for sure. So I basically said the book would be available if you get a subscription in the middle of February, kind of as a backup plan. So that's probably the way I'm going to do it. And TikTok, we have a pretty big channel. There's, 378,000 people on TikTok. So I'd be crazy not to throw it on the TikTok shop and sell it there as well. So I will definitely be doing that. Oops. I didn't scroll down. I might have missed some chat coming in. Tactical Nomad, welcome to the White Beard Brotherhood. Yeah, man, this makes me look old, but I refuse to shave it. My wife is annoyed with me that I will not shave it. Oh, maybe Discord doesn't know because I haven't been on it so long. I got married a couple months ago. You might know because you're probably on my other social media, at least a couple of you. I didn't marry someone else. I asked my girlfriend of 16 years. I finally asked her after 15 and a half years. So I am now officially married. Not that anyone cares. Oh, DK plus 9. Need another Survival Santa Claus. Yeah, so those Survival Santa videos will never be back. They just won't. They really got pushed down by social media. They didn't appreciate a Santa Claus who was smoking cigarettes and murdering Elf on the Shelf. And those videos, people loved them, but they really didn't go anywhere and they didn't do that well. Plus, I'm pretty trim these days. Still getting there. But I've lost a ton of the surgery weight that I should have gotten off a long time ago. I've stripped most of that off already. So, let's see. I'm getting close down to like 200. I'm probably right now about 212 pounds. I really need to get under 200 and really get back into really, really much better shape. But I am definitely getting there. And Tactical Nomad, appreciate it. Don't forget to hit the like. If you are on Facebook, make sure you follow us. If you are on YouTube, make sure you subscribe. I don't mean like a paid subscription. I mean just a regular hit the sub, get notification kind of thing. And on X, for some reason, we seem to get a good amount of people on this stream from X, even though I only have like 1,500 followers on there. And Facebook is usually the worst. And I think we have 136,000 followers on Facebook. But for whatever reason, it's not that great for live streams. Oh, man. Ambient audio is on now. Free, you say? Well, it's free if you sign up for the first month and get access to all of our instructional training. So technically, it is free, but you're still paying something. Ambient audio. I did talk to you the other day on Discord when I made a your mom joke, and I know you missed that. So I'm going to do that more often. I'm going to talk about your mother much more often now that you are here. Maybe not in this stream, but MC Stormy, I need that book. You should also write a book on herbs and plants and other helpful or dangerous. So I'm not really, I am not an expert when it comes to herbal medicine or plants or herbs. If you're looking for someone that's amazing at that, Nicole Appelian, Dr. Nicole Appelian, you can find her books on Amazon. She is amazing when it comes to that kind of stuff. She had a lot of serious medical issues that she essentially self-cured by using medicinal herbs and tinctures and stuff like that. She's an amazing person with a crazy good story. So that's who I would look to. And I also have another stream that we did where I talked about some of my favorite books when it comes to that kind of thing, like Newcomb's Wildflower Guide is one of them. Nicole Appelian's books or some other ones. And then the app Picture This, if you want to get out and learn about plants and trees and try to identify things. There's an app you can get on your phone called Picture This. I think it's $20 a year. You basically take a picture of any plant, tree, flower, and it'll tell you exactly what it is, and it'll give you a lot of information about that particular plant or flower. It's a really good way just to go, even in your backyard, and start identifying trees and plants and figuring out what's what, and it'll help you remember so you're not trying to carry books around out in the woods and, trying to do things like that. Commander Bell, Tactical Nomad, my beard is white too. So this is basically the White Beard Army. I think maybe I should change the Discord name to the White Beard Army. And any of you who don't have beards, it's time to grow one. This is solidarity. You gotta, when you get to a certain age, you just clean shaven face, forget about that. Don't get me wrong, my wife hates this beard. But I told her the only way this beard's coming off is if I had to If I did something completely crazy and I didn't want to be identified, that would be the only way this would come off. But I'd probably get caught because I still wouldn't want to shave it. So what are you going to do? Anyway, for those of you who missed the stream where we talked about, civil unrest and pace planning and things like that, this stream will be available as soon as the stream is over. It'll be available on YouTube, X, or Facebook automatically. And every other stream that we've done, at least as a simulcast, is also available on those same channels, YouTube, X, and Facebook. The ones from TikTok where we were doing them for a couple months every day, those didn't get saved. Some of those I saved and I cut them up into smaller clips and I put them on social media. And I still have a lot that are still going on social media. I still have a lot, probably 100 different clips from some of the older live streams that are not saved on other channels. All right, if anybody has any questions, let me know. I'm probably going to jump off relatively soon. I did it again. I didn't scroll down. I missed a whole bunch. Marjorie Mahuda, good night. Have a good night. Thanks. Don't forget to send me those pictures of the RV so I can check that out for you. Let's see. DK plus 9. I bought the book. Could have gotten it for free, but I got to support. I wanted to make sure that, and I want you, even though you're the original founder of Survival Summit, I still want you to read it and really give me a, review that you think is fair. And I offered to send DK plus 9 a book, obviously for free. Why wouldn't I? But he can't do a verified review on Amazon unless he actually buys it. So he bought it instead. And of course, help support the company. Why not? MC Storm says, oh yeah, I forgot you have a wife now. Finally, she said. Ambient says, congrats. Thank you very much. Sorry, I forgot to scroll back down and the comments got kind of all bunched up. Do you ship to Canada? So you know what, Ambient? We did. But Canada had this thing where their postal service was on strike. And we stopped shipping to Canada. So I actually haven't even looked to see if they're not on strike anymore. But this book, if you get the book direct from Amazon, you can get it from anywhere. We don't ship it, Amazon does. So it's a beautiful thing. This one, unlike Emergency Home Preparedness, this book is the one I wrote with E.J. Snyder. We collaborated and wrote this book together based on one of the films that we made. This one was made through a legitimate publisher, and I don't sell it on the site. I actually don't get the greatest margin when I buy it wholesale, so this is on Amazon as well. But this one is self-published, and I had no collaboration at all. That was just me. So that one is through Amazon. It'll be on the website eventually at some point. Let's see. DK plus 9. Kirsten is great with wild herbs. Oh, yeah, that's right. Kirsten from Survival HD, which was our desert survival film. Tactical Nomad. The best resource for herbal medicine is Dr. Nicola Pellion. Yeah, she's pretty amazing. I haven't actually met her in person. So I used to run Graybeard Green Berets Company. I helped him get that started, his e-commerce, and eventually was just chief operating officer, kind of running all that for him while he was doing all the instructing. And he met up with her, I believe, I think it was at an event in Arkansas or wherever it might have been. And I wasn't there for that, so it was unfortunate. I wanted to meet her, but I still haven't. I need to try to see if I can get her on the stream to talk about some of this stuff. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, books are the best. They don't shut down when the world ends, but people that have watched this stream know that I have a lot of books, but I also keep electronic books on USB thumb drives with solar-powered battery backups, all in Faraday bags to protect against EMP just in case. And I have an adapter for my cell phone, USB to Lightning port. And I literally have thousands of manuals and survival instructional films that I can use instead of having like an entire library. Because there's a lot of things that you're just not going to learn. Maybe you want to go back to some farming technique and there's a whole huge book on how to do it and you're not a farmer. Storing material like that could really save the day when it comes to trying to pack in as much information as possible. And as long as you have a power bank that can recharge by solar, or especially if you have an EcoFlow with 110 watt or 220 watt solar panel, foldable, it's going to really help and make a big difference. Ambient says, did that, ate some American cranberries and I didn't die. Let's see. So, MC Stormy. The long beard might itch at first, but you'll get used to it, and then it'll stop itching completely. You just have to get through it. Put some beard oil, put some beard balm, stuff like that. I actually use conditioner in my beard. I don't really mess with the beard balm that much anymore. But if you use conditioner, it really helps and kind of keeps the skin a little bit dry and it won't itch as much. Condition your beard like twice a week, you're fine. That's about it. Tactical Nomad, I've had my beard since 1984. Never going, now that's commitment right there. My wife wishes I would shave too, but she's only been around since 2011. Don't you dare take that beard off. But you've had it since 84. I don't think there's any chance you're getting rid of it. And I'm not getting rid of mine either. No chance. DK+9, invest in a mouse with a scroll wheel. Are you talking to me, Daniel? I have a scroll wheel. What are you talking about? I do. Sometimes I go back up and I check the chat, and then I forget to go back down, and I just keep talking about crazy stuff. So Mel says Canadian Post should be running again. And Tactical Nomad says Canadian Post strike is over. You know, part of the reason why I didn't go back on to shipping to Canada, one, we don't really get that many orders from Canada. And we offer free shipping, but not to Canada. And man, the pricing for people for shipping in Canada was kind of high. And I had no way to control it. It's, based on our systems and who we have, things set up with. So I just didn't, and, having to do customs, and some people over in the European countries wanted us to ship there, but I'm not paying a 20% VAT tax. It's just not going to happen. It's more of a principle. When you're basically being told by the Queen or whatever from England that you have to pay a 20% VAT tax, it's basically a tariff. And I'm not paying that. It's never going to happen. But will we bring shipping back to Canada? Possibly. But if you want the book, just get it on Amazon. You can get it from wherever. Not a big deal. But honestly, we never sold enough gear for it to really be worth it. And it's kind of a pain to go through customs, and then sometimes things would get lost. It's just not great. And the United States Postal Service is pretty trashy with a lot of international packages. And short of making people pay for insurance, even if you do that, it's still a nightmare to get that gear or that money back. It's not great. And we don't do enough business, especially in Canada, for it to really be worth us doing it, essentially. Tactical Nomad, I use non-scented coconut oil, best beard balm. I'll have to check that out. I never thought about that. Heather Lee, no beard for me. Well, I would hope not. At least I hope not, yeah. Somebody would tell you if you did. Well, maybe they wouldn't, but somebody would probably mention it. Oh, never mind. Sorry. Just checking my messages, which I shouldn't be doing because I'm streaming and I'm trying to pay attention to you guys. I already have a hard enough time keeping up with the chat. Man, I'm really excited that people from the old Static Trading Discord are in the live stream. That's awesome. Haven't seen you guys or talked to you guys in a long, long time. And I hope you'll be back on Thursday when we talk to the doctor from Jace Medical, just to go over some of the emergency subscriptions. Again, there is a link in the bio if you guys want to check out Jace. It is available in Canada and the U.S. DK+9, raw egg is great for skin and hair. White only for oily, yolk only for dry. Mix for somewhere in the middle. I'm going to stick with conditioner, but thanks. I probably shouldn't. I should go to something more natural, like, coconut oil or something like that. I really got to get rid of Streamlabs. I'm probably not going to try eggs, if I'm being honest. I eat a ton of eggs. Right now, the only thing I eat is grass-fed beef, eggs from the chickens at my house, and fruits and vegetables. That's it. Not even really that many vegetables. I use more of a superfood powder that I get from a really good company, and protein. So that's essentially all I eat. And then eating clean has really made a lot of differences in my life. Huge differences. Ambionauto, I was in your area in the summer. You didn't respond. I'm furious. Well, if you did it through Discord, there was a time where I didn't even log into Discord for a very, very long time. So, wait a minute. Why don't you just send me an email? You know my website. You have my information. If I didn't respond on Discord, why don't you just send me an email, Ambient? What are you doing? And you were in the area. That is unfortunate. Actually, depending on what it was, I was probably in New Hampshire, or I may have already been in Vermont, so I might not have even been around. That is always possible. Tactical Nomad. Shampoos and conditioners are very bad for us, very damaging to the skin and cancer causing. Yeah, you're probably right about that. I really should switch to something more natural. I'm not so my clean eating has gone really, really well. Just eating grass-fed beef and eggs from my own chickens in the backyard, which is kind of a pain because I have to bring them up here every week, but whatever. I've really been eating as clean as humanly possible, and I need to get more aspects of my life into the clean area, probably cutting out things like conditioner and things like that. Yeah, MC Stormy, Facebook. Yeah, Ambient. You're literally on all of my social media. If you can't get a hold of me on Discord, why would you just send me a message through Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or literally any other channel on the planet? It's not like you don't know where to find me. I know I disappeared for a while, but I was still around, kind of. There was some times where I really wasn't around at all anywhere, but that's besides the point. I am back. Tactical Nomad. People strip away the body's natural oils with damaging soaps, then remoisturize with fake damaging lotions and potions. Yeah, for sure. Ambient, I did not delete you. You are a liar. Why would I delete you? I would never do that. Your mother would be so mad at me. Your mother would be furious if I deleted you. I still have to see you on Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. For those of you who don't know, Ambient is secretly my son. He just doesn't know it because his mother refuses to admit it to him, that I am his real father. But that's okay. All right. The stream is devolving now away from survival into craziness, which sometimes can happen, and that's okay. MC Stormy, I need to get that book for my kid. Stormy. I just can't call you Stormy. Yoda, send me an email. Just shoot me an email, and I think in 2 weeks I have my author's copies that are coming. I'll just send you one. Ambient, you have to pay for it. I'm not going to send you a free one. I'm giving one freebie away today, and that's to Yoda, because I'm trying to sucker Yoda into being a mod on my Survival Summit Discord. So I'm basically buying his moderatorship. And Ambient, if I could, I would charge you double. But again, if you want to read the book, just go to your mom's house, check the nightstand, and you can read it there, because I left a copy there. All right, that's too far. I've gone too far. I'm trying to be a better person, and making your mom jokes is just not helping at all. Yeah, better not let the wife hear about Ambient's mom. Nah, she knows. It's no big deal. Tactical Nomad. Bathing is for cleansing of skin, skin of dirt, dead skin. Sorry, sometimes the chat didn't get jumbled this time, but other people started talking and it kept skipping up, so I'm losing track. And not meant to strip the body of natural defenses. DK9 says, DK plus 9, all the nutrients to create life for an egg. Just saying, do it. I'm not going to stick an egg on my face. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. I like the organic coconut oil rather than putting an egg on my face. MC Stormy says, no, he's going to buy. Okay. Hey, you know what? If you do, it's going to be even better because then you can put a legitimate, verified review on Amazon. So I like that idea. And Ambient, are you telling me you haven't bought one yet? Unbelievable. Why am I not surprised? Besides, never mind. I was going to make another bad joke. I'm not doing that. I can't do it. Ambient says it's already double in Canadian. Hey, that's not my fault that your country is terrible and that you have a lot of problems and you have some weirdo like Justin Trudeau running around. That's on you, buddy. You guys voted for him. I don't know what to tell you. Is he gone yet? He should be gone. Or was he staying on for a little bit longer until they could find a replacement? I know that he resigned. I just haven't really looked at the news lately to see where that was at. Send him an email. Yeah, boomer. Hey, man, email's still a thing, Chili. Still a thing. But yeah, honestly, Ambient, you literally had like 7 different ways you could have gotten in touch with me aside from Discord. Because there was a time where I didn't even have Discord on my computer or phone or anywhere. So I would have never seen anything. Tactical Nomad says, great topic of discussion is situational environmental awareness. Those are our primary skill. Yeah, in one of the streams, we actually did talk about situational awareness. We talked about the OODA loop. We talked about the colors, all kinds of crazy stuff. And that stream, I believe, is still available. But really a great company for that is Sheepdog Response if you want to do an online training version of situational awareness. They have situational awareness number 2, number 1. I don't know for sure that they took it down because of this, but unfortunately, the gentleman who was a former intelligence, I won't say what he did, but he was with intelligence attached to a special forces unit overseas for quite a while, and he was a star of the film Situational Awareness, the first one, and unfortunately last year he took his own life. Very sad. He was a very, very smart guy. He was probably a genius. And I'm not going to get into it, but it's unfortunate, really unfortunate. I don't know why. I don't know if that's why they took that film down or not, but it's a very sad situation. And it was a great film. He really went over a lot of. I've been with him before doing live training where he went over situational awareness with different groups, doing a lot of different things, and it was very, very. He was really, really amazing, and had a lot of really good information. But unfortunately, he is no longer with us. So, say a prayer. Tactical Nomad. I've done many podcasts and talked at prepper shows on this topic. Oh, that's awesome. And I don't know, maybe Tactical Nomad needs to come on the stream one of these days. Sounds like that should happen. Mel, Yoda wants Canada to be the 51st state. Hey, still might happen. Probably not, but I'm sorry, Yoda, you are stuck with Trudeau, or whoever his replacement is. It's probably going to be worse. All right, you should just move to the United States and just get it over with. DK plus 9. I still do spreadsheets on paper. No, I don't. I do Excel spreadsheets. I don't do them on paper. Who does a spreadsheet on paper? Nobody does that. MC Stormy, Canadian. I gave stat 25 to teach me. But hey, Ambient, it's not my fault that your Canadian money is basically worthless. I don't know what to tell you. They just, fix that. It's your country. Get that crap fixed. Or move to the United States. You don't need to stay there. Why do you have to stay in Canada? Although you live in a pretty good area where you could stay away from it all. I still have a map of your house, by the way, and your property, so I still know where to find you, but you're probably not prepared, so I wouldn't waste my time going all the way up there. Tactical Nomad. People talk all the time about situational awareness, but no one thinks about environmental awareness. I've been teaching these two for years. They are different related subjects. Hey, if you want to shoot me an email and give me a little bit of information on some of that, send it to info@thesurvivalsummit.com. Or if you have any, blogs or anything you want me to push out on my site, in your name, of course, I'll check them out, go through them, and we can go through all kinds of stuff. We're always looking to get more information, better information, new information, more expanded information from people that have a lot of experience. Of course, that's what Survival Summit has all been about since 2015 when it was founded by DK plus 9, is getting together with some of the top instructors that we can find over a various number of subjects to learn about all things survival and preparedness related. That's pretty much what Survival Summit does. We collaborate with instructors and professionals and try to get the best information out there possible. Tactical Nomad, open your Office spreadsheet on your phone, tablet, and computer, backed up on a thumb drive. Yeah, I use spreadsheets a lot. I actually use a spreadsheet for all of Survival Summit as a backup. Of course, you can have it all as data, but I still do every single order and transaction, every single expense to the penny on a spreadsheet with multiple tabs. It's just how I like to keep track, and I can keep track of margins down to the dollar doing it that way. You can build custom systems to do that automatically, but it's very expensive, and I like to do it old school because it helps me remember everything, every order, every person. To me, it's just easier to do it that way. I like it. DK plus 9, tactical send info via boomer email. Come on, man. Everybody uses email. That's not a boomer thing. What are you talking about? Ambient says Canadian 15 from... You must refrain from mod jokes for one. Wait a minute. Ambient, did you just send a super chat? And then I just missed that? Ambient, I think you just sent a super chat basically saying, because of the super chat, I have to refrain from mod jokes for 1 week. That seems a little extreme. But you know what? If you did indeed send a super chat for that, then I have to abide by that, and there will be no more your mod jokes for at least a week. Wait a minute. I think I missed another one. MC Stormy sent $20 Canadian. Am I looking at that right? This multi-stream chat is kind of confusing. I think those are super chat. Oh, you know what? If I go to the YouTube chat, I can see they are super chats. So on Streamlabs OBS, the Ultra version, which is how I do the simulcast, I see it, but I don't see it like it shows up on YouTube. But I can go back to YouTube and see it. Thank you both very, very much for donating to the stream. Just helping Survival Summit get bigger and better. And I need to keep better track of switching back to the YouTube chat every once in a while just to see those, because the super chats get held up and you can see them for longer. But I do not see that in the multi-stream. So I will, from now on, go back and forth just to make sure that I'm not missing anything. All right, Ambi, you win. No more of your mod jokes for a while. Maybe I'll even give you more than a week. It's going to be hard. You might not want to contact me for like a week, because I don't know if I can stop myself. So, well, I'll try. I'll try my best. I really will. All right, let's see. And I'm scrolling back down, Daniel, so I won't miss comments. Yes, yep. MC Stormy and Ambient both sent super chats. I appreciate you guys. You don't have to do that. It's awesome, but you don't have to do that. We don't. We're never going to push for super chats on this channel. Now, if there's like at some point hundreds or 1,000 people on here, then yeah, it'd be cool if we got super chats from a lot of different people. But we're a pretty small group on here still. It's really not a big deal. Ambient says, if you fail, I get a free book. See, Ambient, why didn't you just buy the book instead of doing the super chat? It's not that much. You could have got the Kindle for basically the same price. Although, I don't know. I don't know how worthless exactly is your Canadian money. I don't even know what the conversion rate is anymore. I have no idea. See, now Yoda's making those jokes, but it's not me, so it doesn't count. Ambient tried, you don't respond. No, you didn't try. You only tried in Discord. You didn't reach out to me on social media. You didn't reach out through Boomer email. You didn't reach out anywhere except for Discord. And I would know if you did and you didn't. Oh, man. Well, you know what? I am going to wrap this up in a few minutes because I have to be up, I think, at 5 tomorrow, and it is 8:42, and I got a few things I need to do. DK plus 9 says, stop sending in money, increasing the value of the company, or I won't be able to buy my shares back. Hey, you know, if we get to a good place, especially if this book does really well, and we start making new films, then, you know, maybe you don't have to buy the shares back. Maybe we figure something out. We'll figure it out. We got to get you back in the fold one way or the other. But hey, if you do have to buy your shares back, they're definitely going to be more expensive. Just want to point that out. But hey, I need you. I need you to start. I need you for films. I need you for the creative part of that. And I really want to get back out there and start doing much more when it comes to reaching out to, you know, different instructors, new instructors, a lot of things that we haven't done yet that we really wanted to do and kind of lost track of during those COVID years when everything went south. We need to get that back for sure. Yeah, now he says, send him money. Yoda, I actually did get some crypto a little while back. Right before Bitcoin started to take off, but I didn't catch the full wave. And I just wasn't paying attention enough. I did make a little bit of money, but I didn't put, I think I only put a few grand in there. And I did not wait. I didn't do it when I should have. And everyone was thinking Bitcoin was going to go up at the time, and I knew it wasn't, because when everybody thinks it's going up, it usually is not going up. It's after. And I ran out of patience and time, and I haven't been doing any charting on TradingView. I haven't been doing any of the technicals, so I really didn't want to screw around, so I just didn't bother. So, yeah, I don't know. You guys buy any of the Trump coin? Is that accurate? Hope you didn't buy any of the Hawk Tua Girls coin, because that money went bye-bye. And no, I'm not holding AMP coin anymore. I got rid of that, so... Doge to $7. I mean, hey, you never know with all the stuff going on. A lot of crypto is seeming to do pretty well right now. And I think it's going to be a much more crypto-friendly administration. But I do worry that crypto in the long term may not be a great solution, especially if there's some kind of big event that happens. I don't think it's going to be worth much. And I think what we've seen happen when society or The financial markets tend to crash. Crypto is not necessarily a good hedge against that. It hasn't shown itself to be. But again, I am not a crypto expert by any means. So if you guys are looking to learn more about crypto, check out Static Trading. They have a lot of really good people on there that go through a lot of technicals when it comes to that. Tactical Nomad, you know what? I'll just put the email address in the chat. Just that way you have it. It's easier. Streamlabs will probably give me crap about it, but I'm going to do it anyway because they can't do anything about it. Make sure I got that. I don't have my reading glasses. Yes, I wear reading glasses now, but I got to make sure I spelled that right. I think I did. All right. I just popped that in chat. It might take a second to come through. For some reason, I have a little bit of a delay, but it's just info@thesurvivalsummit.com. That is the email address. And I'm pretty much the only one that gets email through Survival Summit for the most part. So whatever is sent there, I will receive. All right. I said I was going to leave, and then I just kept talking and talking and talking. Tactical Nomad, we cannot rest on our laurels even with the new admin. We have to keep pushing headstrong, keep us. Yeah, we definitely cannot take our foot off the gas. We cannot. We still have to keep training, keep preparing, keep learning new skills, and we really do need to stay strong because things can change in an instant. It could take one big, large-scale incident, something that might happen that could really bring things back to a place where we don't want to be. So we need to be ready no matter what. And people really haven't been, it's strange because the preparedness industry as a whole, has been in a little bit of a dip, even through the whole Biden administration, which is insane. I don't know what, maybe it was inflation. Maybe people don't have, as many, couldn't put the money where they really thought they should. Maybe things were just that crazy. I don't know. I don't really know what went on in the industry lately, but it seems to be kind of on a slow uptick back up. And you know what? The money's not even the important part. It's just a matter of getting people to train, getting people to plan and prepare. It's more important. The knowledge weighs nothing. You need the knowledge and the skills, then you worry about the gear. Gear helps, obviously. It's great. But don't go out and buy $1,000 worth of gear and then have no training. It's just not the way you should approach it. See Stormy, the return of Nibiru. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But hey, you never know. Who knows? Let's see. Before I leave, I just want to make sure I didn't miss any comments. Ambient says, so close to a free book, I can taste it. You were trying to elicit a joke out of that, and I'm not going to fall for it. I tell you should have just got the Kindle when you instead of the super chat. You would have been all set. You'd already had it. You could have already been reading it. It's about 270 pages, technically 269. Amazon shows it as more, like 285, and I'm not sure why. And the Kindle page count is really off. The Kindle page count shows like 3,000 or 5,000, something crazy. But that is not what it is. It's 270 pages, and obviously the Kindle's a little bit more pages, but whatever. Stormy, shucks so much for the lizard people. Oh, man. All right, I got to make sure I make a note to get rid of Streamlabs so he's not making dumb comments in here as a bot from now on. And don't worry, I'm never going to add Streamlabs as a moderator. Maybe someday if we start getting a lot of people in here, I may have to have... But if I just get regular mods, especially if I have some people from the old Discord that I can trust to be moderators on here, then I'll probably do that. And then I can keep track of booting people off that are making dumb comments, and which always happens when you get more people. It's always gonna come to that where you got to get rid of some people for saying dumb things. It is unavoidable. All right, that is it for me. I'm going to be going to bed soon. I will be back Thursday. Do not forget, I actually think I can zoom in and show you. Jace Medical is going to be posting this on their social media. Hold on, I got to get the zoom back. Dr. Roland, the founder. Oh, you're not going to see it. The lighting's terrible. I'm sorry. I thought I could show you that, but I really can't. Anyway, Dr. Roland is the founder of Jace Medical. He will be on with us Thursday. It'll be a co-hosted stream, and we will talk about all kinds of stuff on Thursday. So I will see you guys then. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate all the comments and everything in the chat, keeping it lively, keeping it going. Sometimes if no one's chatting, it can be a really difficult stream to get through. I don't want to just be on here talking, and I just don't want it to be that way. I really want it to be a discussion and a conversation with everybody. Tactical Nomad says your channel recently popped in my feed, and I'm glad. This is no BS kind of channel I like to watch and support. Nowadays, there are not many of them. That's for sure. There really aren't a lot of channels that aren't just crazy. I don't know. I just really want everyone to be able to collaborate with each other and try to learn as much as we can. None of us are going to have all the answers for everything. And if, creating these types of groups and having these types of discussions, I don't care if this channel stays, 20, 30 people a night forever. It doesn't matter. Still going to do it. Still going to try to get people on. And I occasionally will still be on TikTok Live, mostly on the weekends and sometimes on the off-stream nights. Not for very long, but we have a pretty big audience on there, so I really don't want to avoid them. I started getting some paid subscribers on there, and I kind of feel bad because it was right before they took TikTok down, and then they took it right back up. But they don't let me, like, if I wanted to send you, not even for my own stuff, if I wanted to send you to Amazon to look at a cool product link, I get a violation on TikTok Live. They only want you to send people to the TikTok shop. They do not want you to send people to any other link, even if it's a well-known link like Amazon. But there's plenty of times where I want to tell you guys about, hamradioprep.com or something like that I make no money on, and I still get a violation on TikTok because I talked about that in a live. I can do it in a video, but I can't do it in a live. So that's the reason why the simulcast has come to YouTube, Facebook, and X, because kind of got tired of TikTok's crap. Anyway, all right. I really am going to go this time. I'm not going to keep blabbing. I keep saying I'm going to go, and then I just don't. So you guys have a good night.